Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Somi and I'm a personalized content creator. You guys already know from the title of the video, you already know what the video is going to be about. Today is a story time and I'm going to be spilling all the tea of how I got COVID, the whole issue about COVID, all of that. So if you want to hear about my story time on how I got COVID, please stick with me and I'll see you in the next clip.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I get my weed from California. Yes, that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. I get my line right from the source, yeah.
So me getting COVID all started in January 2021, which was last year, on going back to school after the short vacation, which was in December holiday. I was supposed to go back for my final year and my final semester. Normally the means of transportation I use most of the time to go to school is using a Sienna. So the way the Sienna works is that during that COVID period we would be like 5 in the car. You can't be more than 5 or something, or 6, one per seat, because of the COVID restrictions. So I boarded the car and my mom was with me and all of that. I noticed that there was a girl that was complaining about how she was allergic to AC, she wasn't feeling fine, but because of, I did not think about it deep. My first instance was not that she had COVID or any of that, but thinking about it now, she's the most likely person I came in contact with that was sick before I got to school. So she was making all that the driver shouldn't put on the AC, that she's allergic to AC. I don't know, I've never heard of it, but I was like, okay, she's allergic to AC and all of that. So we boarded the car. She wasn't even sitting close to me, she was sitting in front of me, because you know the way Sienna is, the first seat and second seat, then the third seat or something like that. Yeah, there are 2 sets of seats, so we were just 4 in the car. I was sitting at the last seat and she was sitting the next one. So throughout the journey, like, I didn't have contact with her, like I didn't know her, so I did not really have anything to do with this babe. So getting to school, 1 week into getting to school, I felt very ill. Like, I felt ill, and unluckily for me, because anybody that knows me very well knows I went to school with my sister. Like, went to the same school, but during that period she was doing her IT, so she didn't return back to school. She wasn't going to return back to school till like the 2nd semester, and that was just the 1st semester of my final year. So I was all alone in this. I felt really sick like about 1 week or 1.5 weeks after I got into this car. After I came back to school, I felt terribly ill. The kind of illness I mean is, it came with a lot of things. And I remember watching Dima Ome during that period that she told us that she had COVID, she had a lot of health complications and all of that. I remember watching her and thinking about that my symptoms were, I already knew I had COVID, right? I was too sure I had COVID, but I kept telling my mom, and she was like, go for it, because I remember watching her Dima Umi and thinking of how, like, our symptoms were really similar. The symptoms she stated and the symptoms I was facing at that particular time were so similar. I was having literal chest burn. It felt like just chest pain, not burn. It felt like my whole chest wanted to remove. I kept taking drugs. Like, there was, if you know me, you know I hate drugs. I was on pills and steroids and a lot of drugs. So the thing was, I could not travel back home, because traveling back home risked me infecting other people, because it's that I'm using flight and I already know, in my heart I knew I had COVID, right? So it did not make sense to actually travel all the way. If you know me, you know that my school is in Abia State and I live in Abuja. That is quite a distance, right? So I could not just up and leave, or somebody else come and pick me up and those kind of things. I had to travel through either road or plane or something, and it was too risky, so I had to stay put. What I did at that point was that I did not really I tried not to be in contact with a lot of people, because I stopped going to classes for about 2 weeks. Even my roommates, I tried not for them not to be coming close to me a lot. I remember at the point where I told them that it was like I had COVID. Everybody was rebuking and kabashing like normal Nigerians would. But like, I really knew, so I was really taking the step to prevent other people from catching the virus or whatever. I wanted to be honest with my roommates and let them know that I might have COVID, right? I kept saying it, but they really did not want to believe it. I don't even know if till now they believed it, or if they watch this video, they might have like, oh, so really, she really actually had COVID. But I made sure I told them that I might have COVID and all that. Like I said again, if you know my school and if you know where I schooled, you will know that that school is very far from civilization. So my school is in Abia State, close to Abia State University, and there is no hospital that has the facilities to test COVID or test any serious illness. So if you're going to any hospital, you have to go all the way to Owerri or Enugu State or Abia State or Port Harcourt, and that was a distance. So like, it wasn't even an option for me to just up and leave and go and get tested. But luckily for me, my uncle abroad is a pharmacist, so he knows like his way. He's a doctor, so he knows his way around medicine and all of that. So my parents contacted him and they started prescribing drugs for me. Antibiotic, there's this particular anti-malaria medicine that alleviates COVID, right? If you don't have the what they call it, the vaccine or whatever, you can use that malaria. I can't remember what the malaria medicine. I'm not going to prescribe it for anybody here before they say, so me prescribe this one. But he told me to take it, to give me some antibiotics. Some of my symptoms were like, my whole chest felt like it was coming off. My ribs were paining me so much, like I had appendix or something, like it was like ripping inside. I was feeling so hot, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't concentrate on a particular thing for a long while. That was why I had to stop going to class for about a week or 2 weeks plus. My legs were swelling quite a lot. I did not know what was happening. So the only recommendation my parents could do was to prescribe drugs for me to use. And in my school, the pharmacist or the hospital, the clinic sold expired drugs. I'm not even going to lie, they sold expired drugs. So my parents knew that, and they knew they could not rely on those people. So we had to have somebody always go and buy drugs. My dad would have to come and do video call. Like, it was a lot. If I was in Abuja, it would have been more easier to handle. But me being far away, it was so much harder to maintain on and deal with the whole illness. So I had a lot of people tell me, go home, go home, go home, go home. But I knew what I was fighting against, and I knew that I did not want any person I came in contact with to contact it, including my family, because I knew, okay, I'd already come to school, so it was not my fault that I had it. So let me contain it in this school, my room premises. Do you understand? I did not plan to get it, so I cannot state, okay, let me go here, let me go there. Do you understand? So I just felt like it was easier for me to contain it in that room than having to leave, go body plane. I already knew what I was carrying. I cannot just go and say I want to infect others. Do you understand? Intentionally just body plane, knowing in me, deep in me, that I had COVID. I could not just do that. So the only thing was for me to get medication from home to school, right? So I was able to tackle that. I had a lot of sleepless nights because I was just really uncomfortable and in pain. Nobody really actually knows about this. People know the point I was sick, because when I'm sick, like, it's very, very difficult for everybody. But they did not know like what exactly was wrong. That time vaccine was not everywhere, and there was nowhere vaccine was accessible to me, to be very honest. Where it wasn't accessible at that time. In Umuahia is a low cost, it wasn't accessible. So the only place I knew it was accessible was like Abuja, Lagos. I knew it was at limited stock, you had to buy it and all of that. I started getting myself, because my legs swelled up, I started limping, and it really affected me though. But like, I was able to pull through and get my shit together. Like I mentioned, my legs swelled up, I couldn't walk for a while and all of that. It was really difficult, but I was able to pull through. After like about a week or so, because I was sick for like 3 weeks, a month. So after that, I started going to class. I was able to get my immune system back. The side effect was that I couldn't walk long distances because of my leg, and also because of I started breathing too hard. Like I couldn't walk long distances because I was running out of breath. So I had to constantly keep walking because my school, they within the campus, they don't have bikes, whatever, all those things. You have to trek, and my college to my hostel is quite a distance, so I had to do the this Benz thing. Anyway, I kept walking. After a while, the shortness of breath reduced, and I was able to I was able to go to class. I recovered. Then after the break, because I came back to Abuja, so during the short break we had, I came back, got tested, then got vaccinated. Yeah, with my COVID, I got the vaccine, and yeah, I was COVID free. After that, it was such a roller coaster. I don't think I've ever told anybody this story, but this story is very unique to me, and it's a story that I feel like, because I was talking to my mom about it, we just remembered and we're like, why don't I talk about this on YouTube? So yeah, that was how I got COVID, and that was how I was able to tackle and fight for my life and all of that. I was able to come out COVID free. Yeah, COVID free and all of that. So yeah, basically that's my story time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a very short one. I just felt like sharing with you guys what I experienced with COVID. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh yeah, shit. I get my weed from California. Yes, that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. That's bitch. I get my life